Namaskar. So today I'm going to talk about the dance and the chanting that we combine as part of our practice. Many different traditions have some kind of dynamic practice, and that's very helpful because if you want to, say, do 1 hour of practice and you spend the whole time sitting, your legs will be hurting, your back will be hurting, etc. But if you, say, do half an hour sitting meditation and half an hour of some dynamic form of meditation, then you can do 1 hour of practice without the stress on your body. So yoga has had this kind of dynamic practice in the form of chanting and dance since the very beginning. And in Ananda Marga, we also use a dance. And this dance was invented by the wife of Shiva, Parvati, somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 years ago. So as far as I can understand, it's the oldest known human dance. So in classical Indian dance, which begins with this dance, means this is the first of the classical Indian dances that was ever created, it uses mudra. And mudra is a combination of some kind of posture or movement that has a symbolic meaning and also has some kind of impact on your consciousness. So the step of the dance is like this. You bend the knee that you're standing on and bring the toe of your opposite heel, of your opposite foot, behind the heel of the other foot. So slightly go down, tap the toe behind your foot. It should be very natural and easy to do without any strain or difficulty. The symbolic meaning of this is gentleness. I love the earth, so I step softly, I step gently in such a way that I do not create any harm. So it sets up a very nice kind of sympathetic feeling between oneself and the earth. The effect of this on your consciousness is that the nerves in the tip of your toe are the activation point for the crown chakra. So if you've ever seen those foot massage charts or reflexology charts, every portion of your foot is related to some organ or system. And by pressing in that portion of the foot, you can stimulate or activate that organ or system. So we tap the big toe. The big toe represents the head, and the end of the big toe represents the crown of the head, so the crown chakra. And that stimulates the flow of spiritual feelings. When you bend your knees in the meditation, that helps your legs become kind of warmed up so that you can sit more easily. And when you move from side to side, it has a soothing and calming effect on the mind. When babies cry, parents will pick them up and rock them from side to side because of that soothing effect. So it's a very simple step, but there's a lot of science in it. The hands are held up like this. And the effect that this has on your consciousness is it kind of opens the heart. So the hands are connected to the heart chakra, and when you lift them up like this, it kind of creates a light, lifting feeling in the heart that makes you feel happy. And when people feel great happiness or they get some great news, they just won $1 million or something like that, when they feel that happiness and joy, they naturally throw their hands up in the air. When somebody scores a goal in football or like that. And it works both ways. So if you feel happiness, you naturally put your hands up. But if you put your hands up, it kind of produces that feeling of happiness. Then the symbolic meaning of this is surrender, right? So letting go of the walls and the boundaries that keep that feeling of universal love or divine love out. It's like most of the time we walk around closed off and keeping our walls up to protect ourselves, right? No, thank you. I want my space, right? But when you let go of those walls, you let go of your attachments, your ego, your worries, your anxieties, and just surrender yourself, open yourself, and allow the love which is always there, allow it to come inside. So it's very helpful to think about that when you're holding your hands in this position. Just imagine that I'm letting go and I'm allowing that divine love to come in. So that's the main thing. You keep your hands up as much as you can. If your hands get tired, you can, which they will, you can put them down and clap along. And just one additional thing that is represented by the hands up, and that is it takes effort to hold your hands up, and that effort represents your effort to overcome the forces which are trying to pull you back or hold you back, right? So it symbolizes your overcoming of those forces holding you back. Then the last thing is, of course, it's a simple dance, and we keep it simple so that the mind can be focused on the mantra. So we just add the music. Mantra always has more power if you think about the meaning of it. So close your eyes for a moment. Think about the meaning of the mantra. Only love everywhere. At all times, in all places, permanently, there is something that connects us with the universe, that holds, that keeps us connected with each other, with the universe, with nature, with God. That kind of love that connects us, that's what we're focusing on. Bhavanam Kevalam, 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 So that's the dance, and to succeed in meditation, you need to have a clear concept of what you are focusing on. You need to understand the steps and the stages of the practice clearly, and you need to have a strong sense of determination. But there is a secret ingredient which helps everything happen more easily, and that is a feeling of sweetness and a feeling of love. And the wonderful thing about the chanting is that it helps open your heart, awaken that sense of love and sweetness, and that just makes everything a lot easier. One small thing to keep in mind is that when you enjoy the meditation, you'll probably feel like closing your eyes. And if you're doing that with a lot of people, you just need to open one eye a little bit every now and then so that you don't kind of wander all over the room and end up somewhere embarrassing. So keep your hands up as much as possible. If your hands get tired, rest for a little bit in this position or clap along with the music and then put them up again. You'll get the best feeling if you hold them up. All right, that's it. Thank you. Namaskar. Baba Eva.